In 2015, men accounted for 40% of the breast reduction surgeries performed in that year. That's right. So it appears that men are really jumping in head first or breast first to the plastic surgery game. In 2015, 15.9 million plastic surgeries were performed. That equals 1 in every 16 Americans.
Wait, let's think about that for a second. So one out of every 16 people you've come in contact with have had a chest augmentation?
No, this is plastic surgery in general.
Okay.
For that statistic.
Still.
Oh, yeah, it's shocking.
1 out of every 16 people?
I mean, I have my own theories about plastic surgery. I think that, like, there's this point with any person that gets plastic surgery where, like, some people get plastic surgery and it works and they actually look better.
Yeah.
But you always reach a certain point where you have that one more and then you look terrifying. And then they try to fix it by having more and it gets worse and worse and worse and then it's all over.
Yes, I'm so desensitized to it because I watch Real Housewives all of the time, and my parents will walk in or like see me watching it, or someone will see what's on the screen and they'll be like, "What are you watching?
Like,
what are those monsters?
Disfigured woman?
Who are those monsters on there?" And I'm just like, "What do you mean? Oh, that's just like so and so. Like that's nothing." But okay,
yeah, plastic surgery is a mess.
Lot.
So what's interesting here is men are really getting into the game in this year. The American Society of Plastic Surgeons found that 40% of patients who underwent breast reduction surgery were men. So that is 27,000 and some change men who had breast reduction surgeries. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not dissing the profession of being a plastic surgeon because I do believe that they provide a valuable service. And the reason that plastic surgery was created originally was to help people, in situations where you've got some kind of disfigurement.
Or if something happens that will leave you really messed up, and a normal doctor doesn't really care about what it looks like. They care about making sure it works.
Sure your heart is still beating. Yeah. So I'm not going to knock them for that. What we currently have going on in America is way beyond that. And, we can get into the ethics of it and whether it even makes a difference. I mean, you've got your own body. You can do what you want with it. There's no doubt about that. I mean, is there any difference between, like, modifying your body by piercings or a tattoo and having plastic surgery? Debates out on that. The point is, and I think what's interesting here, is the fact that men are getting these breast reduction surgeries. Traditionally, these were created for very specific circumstances where women with breasts that were so large that they're like cumbersome or they cause them some kind of health problem. And I do believe that for the most part, that's still why women get that surgery. But for men, I believe it has to do more with the man boob situation.
Yeah, body weight or body fat percentage.
Now, I mean, always, there are the situations where, maybe a man was like 300 pounds and he lost a lot of weight and they needed to do some kind of reduction there.
Yeah.
But honestly, most of these surgeries probably are more cosmetic.
What I've seen too recently, so I watch a lot of plastic surgery shows on.
Ooh, I can't watch that.
I love this.
Oh, it makes me squeamish.
I wanted to be a doctor before I realized I wasn't good at any memorization at all. So I'm comfortable watching things like that, and I like to watch them because I think they're interesting. But men that take steroids for a long period of time or any sort of chemical thing to make their body create more muscle, they tend to grow breast tissue.
Interesting.
And so on the show that I've seen breast reductions done on men because they're reducing the breast tissue that they have grown because of the drugs that they have used or performance enhancers that they have used to gain weight in other areas and not necessarily in their chest. So I don't know, because I know steroids have actually, watching the show has made me realize how many people actually use steroids often and regularly. And I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but at the same time, I think that would be interesting to see. But at the same time, obesity is an ongoing thing that is continuously growing in our society, and that could be linked directly to this. But are they doing like a full body like tuck and lift, or are they just taking out the boobs? Like, I'm not really sure what's going on here.
Yeah, I mean, the concern is, right, like, as we get fatter, like, people think that maybe a solution would be to just cut out all the fat and then just grow it back again.
Yeah.
And that doesn't really work. My favorite plastic surgery story, male plastic surgery story at least, was there was a show on MTV called True Life, and it was True Life, I'm Getting Plastic Surgery.
True Life.
And this was probably on 10 years ago. This was a long time ago.
They still show a few reruns of those, and they're always good.
And what's interesting was at that time, plastic surgery was not nearly as common as it is now. In some circles, it's like, guaranteed that you're going to get plastic surgery at some point.
In college, there were girls from northern states that already had nose jobs, and it was just kind of a 16-year-old present.
It's a gift.
Like you turn like 18 or 16 and you get a nose job. Ooh. And I was like, wait, you actually have had plastic surgery before? Like, you've paid money.
To have them saw your nose off.
Thousands of dollars to have something changed about you. Like, the plastic surgery is not often covered by insurance. And if it is, it's for very specific needs. And you are paying money. You're just shelling out cash for this to be done to you when you were 18 years old. Like, that's a different story.
I don't know
okay,
about
so
that.
your funniest...
So, True Life. I mean, so there was this guy, and he was like a bodybuilder. And he loved going out to clubs, and I just remember him saying that he loved putting glitter on himself and going to clubs. But his one problem area that he could never, and clearly this is some kind of body dysmorphia or something. This is a normal behavior.
Yeah.
But he felt like he could never really isolate his calves. So he ended up getting these calf implants. And the weirdest thing about the implants were, so I played soccer, and on the front side you would wear shin guards, and they're basically like a sleeve that you put around your leg, and then you slide the shin guard in, and that's basically exactly what the calf implant is, but it's on the back, and it's like a silicone calf, and they slide it under your skin, and it just sits there.
It's like when you're roasting a turkey and you need to put some butter underneath the skin before you cook it. There's a guy that was on another one of the shows that doesn't work out at all, and he's like a human doll.
Oh, I've seen that guy before.
Yeah, and he
That's not the Justin Bieber guy, is it?
No, there's a different one. That guy was mainly face. Yeah, this guy, he shapes his own muscle like implants, and so his arms are all fake. Like, it was funny because they were actually talking to someone that, I think it was a guy that had something wrong with one part of his chest, so he needed a chest implant so that it could be the same symmetrical on both sides. And so he had him come in, and they were like, oh, can you work out? He was like, I've never worked out before in my entire life. And this guy is buff. He has zero body fat and has huge muscles that look real, but he has never done an exercise in his entire life.
Well, there you have it, folks. Let us know what you think in the comments below. We just talked for 8 minutes about plastic surgery somehow.